And now Shell and One World of Sports present the Big Game Preview. Yes, it's Ranfurly Shield time again at Eden Park. It's been rather a disjointed challenge program so far. There was the trip to Nelson back in April, but most of these fans, and certainly the players, will remember more of the most recent Shield match. It was a tough test against the rugged men of Bay of Plenty.
They're always the same, the Bay, you know, they kind of, they play it pretty loose and, you know, a couple of little mistakes and they're gone. So, yeah, they were tired and, you know, they played really well, I thought.
Yes, he's back, the barnstorming youngster who's been on 2 All Black tours. He's not in the starting lineup today, but his position on the reserve bench indicates that a recall for the A team is not far away. And when that happens, his World Cup chances will get a huge boost.
Watching the boys get out there and really give it a go really motivated me to get back, and the last 2 months has been great. You know, been getting right into it and with a lot of help with a lot of people. So, but you know, it's just good to get back into the Auckland team again and be part of the team.
Well, in preparation for the Counties Challenge this week, it's been a bit hard to stay on one's feet at training. But these guys in the Auckland team are always competitive.
I decided to take up ballet just for flexibility, mainly balancing and strengthening of the legs. So yeah, there are some stretches and exercises in ballet that are worth doing to strengthen my knee.
Yes, there is real competition in this Auckland team, even when it comes to seeing who can skid the furthest in the mud. The most famous of all Counties Auckland matches was 12 years ago. It really was a year when those from down the southern motorway should have won.
What's Cunningham going to do? It's taken by Riley. Here goes Paul Riley. It's out to Halfbucket. Try! 7-0. Richard Dunn trying to lure the Counties men offside, but now it's done. Out to Harris. To Mills. Here goes Twigden. They're running on the side. Harris to BG to Farrell. Try! 9-8. So Richard Dunn feeds. Hoists another high ball. Notice how Dawson, the number 8, is back there, and he's as safe as safe. Oh, my word. How can he do that? Just look at the Aucklanders pour into that. Free kick penalty. Well, Vic Hinton, the Counties president, he said earlier today, if Counties is ever going to win the Shield, this is it. It all hangs on this kick. Richard Dunn.
very special day. I think we'd won the national competition and we were after the Shield. It was a wonderful occasion, and while we didn't win it, I still remember the day very clearly indeed.
For their Shield match warm-up, Counties tried on another of their neighbouring unions recently. The match with Thames Valley was won easily, and a big win always makes you feel good, no matter who the opposition are.
Most of the guys in the side, it'd be their first Shield game, and obviously that's something special, something that only happens, once, twice, perhaps in a rugby player's lifetime. We're all young, and we're learning game by game, and we're definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, we all know what Auckland's capable of. One day a team's going to pick them up on an on-off day, and let's hope it's today. A lot of very talented players in the side. Man for man, probably not a lot of difference between the players and the Counties team and the Auckland team, but Auckland over the years have had that advantage of teamwork and unity, and I can see that starting to erode, and one day, as I say, somebody's going to beat them, and we hope it's today.
That was the Shell Big Game Preview, brought to you in association with Shell. Well, this is the 43rd challenge that Auckland have faced for the Ranfurly Shield since 1985. It's the third time that Counties have been to Eden Park during that time. In 1985 it was close. Auckland won by 12-9. Since then, though, the tale has been rather woeful from a Counties point of view. 48-9 in 1987 and that dreadful 84-3 result 2 years ago. It's the third Shell Ranfurly Shield challenge of this season for Auckland, and here are the teams. Auckland are without an injured Craig Innes today, so it's Joe Stanley and Bernie McCahill in the midfield. Ronnie Clark holds his place on the left wing, so Terry Wright is at fullback, and Grant Fox overcame a groin strain to play today. In the forwards, it's the first string lineup, every one of the 8, now either an All Black A or B selection.
We've got Counties here at Eden Park today. Andy Dalton, here with Tal Roar, two great men in rugby. We're expecting a few surprises from those two, and I'm sure Counties aren't going to play in a conventional manner. On the contrary, our boys are really pleased to be back here at Eden Park, away from Argentina, in front of their home crowd. They're looking for a big one today.
It's electric!
Counties will expect much from All Black trialist and New Zealand 15 squad member Craig Adams at centre. In the forwards, big New Zealand Colts lock Mark Cooksley is the linchpin. His line-out performance against Auckland Stars will be a measure of his abilities. Andrew Fleming, the son of opera star Melvina Major, will want to hit the high notes, while the captain is the All Black trialist Errol Brain.
Andy Dalton, coach of the Counties team. I know the boys are really looking forward to this opportunity to have a crack at Auckland. We'll give them a fright.
One World of Sport and Shell proudly present highlights of the 1991 Shell Ranfurly Shield Series.
Zinzan Brook, one of the Auckland team, as Colin Hawke from Timaru begins the 43rd defence of the Ranfurly Shield. Auckland against neighbours Counties on a soft Eden Park. The referee has said play on, even though that first kick didn't seem to go 10 metres, and he's played advantage. The first kick to Terry Wright, the Auckland fullback, is deflected off one of the players, and the early pressure is on Zinzan Brook to scramble it across the touchline. Balmy conditions up above, a gentle breeze at Eden Park, but below it's just a bit muddy. So it looks like Gary Wetton is walking to the sideline. You see his hand up under his shirt. It's the rib cage, and that's the problem. He had a knee injury before today. One of the big veterans of Auckland rugby, Mata Afakinen, coming into the game, and he only came into the reserves when Ross Thompson pulled out. So a great chance for one of Auckland's more popular players in the University Club, Mata Apakinen. But an early lucky break, if you like, for Counties, that Gary Wetton has to leave the field. So Gary Wetton has left the field, replaced by Mata Apakinen. So Auckland without a leader at the moment to see who does most of the talking. It may be that the man you see with the ball there, Sean Fitzpatrick, will take over the running of the ship, although Grant Fox might like to have a say as well. In midfield now, Auckland are trying to get their act together. It's a willing Counties team at the moment. Nu'ualitia makes the kick. Scampering back is Ronnie Clark and Terry Wright. And a good thump by Terry Wright. Well, Terry Wright is 119th game for Auckland today, back at fullback. Had a game for the All Blacks on tour in that position and seems pretty comfortable there. So there's Robin Brooke, but he's got a new locking partner. You see two behind, the fellow with the moustache and a bit of a beard is Mata Apakinen, number 20. Hewitt, Fox, Stanley, McCarhill's doubling around. Stanley takes the tackle on halfway into Craig Adams, or was it Carl Murray? Number 12, Carl Murray made a good tackle. Hewitt, that's a knock-on. Hewitt is open-mouthed and dumbfounded by that call by referee Colin Hawke. Well, it could have been that it was someone else's hand in there. That's why Jason Hewitt is looking so agog at the referee. Let's look at that again. I thought someone else put their hand on it. It wasn't Hewitt at all. Let's see if we can see the ball. And have a look at that man there. Puts his hand on it, you see, a bit naughty. And it was called a knock-on against Hewitt. So the early luck in the game is running the way of the challengers. But my word, we've got a long way to go here today. 12 minutes gone in the first half.
Keep it on. You guys keep it up.
Keep
it on. Stay on. Crank it on him.
Hewitt. Fox has let the ball go a couple of times and kicked about 4 times. Tambuarua, the right winger, got a bit skinny for him there. Near halfway. It's come to big Steve McDowell. They get in and make the stop on him, or do they? Errol Brain, number 8. So it's inched its way up into Counties territory for, I think, the first time in the game in the first 12 minutes. It's a good beginning, a good promising beginning by Counties here on the park. Auckland's 43rd defence of the Ranfurly Shield today. Suzanne Brooke off the back after 40 minutes into Mark Carter. You see number 6 today, Michael Jones, in good support. This is Auckland. They're moving it wide. Nice pass from McCarhill straight to Kerwin. Kerwin, the 15. What a good tackle by Carlos Hassan. Helped by Craig Adams. Now look at John Kerwin get up and say, who are those guys? That was good play by those 2 defenders getting across. Fox, the replay. Look at a lovely pass by McCarhill, spinning straight to Kerwin. But then the defence came across. It was 13 Adams and 15 Carlos Hassan. And they buried big JK. Joe Stanley down with, it looks like a little recurrence of that problem he had a few years ago when he did a bit of on-field, well, let's not beat about the bush, thundering we call it in New Zealand.
54, 25.
Parking the Tiger. A few other good down under terms, but I thought he'd got rid of that problem, but apparently not. Ashby throws. Hewitt finds Fox. Auckland is starting to expand a little now. You see how McCarhill always makes the ball available to the next man, whether it be by pass or just a little short one to his forwards. Fox down into the corner, deflected off Ashby. That's a loose ball behind the 22. This is Murray, and he's decided to run it. Adams. Carl Murray again. Tambuarua. That must have been close to a forward pass. And bad luck. YC of Tambuarua disappointed there. That was an attacking, inventive play by Counties back behind their own 22, and like we used to see from Counties teams back in the 70s. There's Andrew Fleming with Mark Carter towards the back. Michael Jones in the jumping position, second of the back against Brain. Robin Brook. Man there is offside, and so someone's going to get in there and take him out of the game. Drive by Candies. Now it's with Hewitt. Away to Fox. Fox gets a high ball in. Fullback Hassan is waiting. That's him, number 15. Cooksley slips. It's a skiddy pitch, remember. Adams goes down. He meets Jason Hewitt inside the 22. Midfield, right out in front of the posts. And some good hard rucking. And it's going to be a defensive ball for Counties. They worked hard in that maul, that pile up, that thing, and they won the right to the put in. Now there's the Counties front row. We'll have a look at them. We've got Lee Lidgard. So the prop on the near side for Counties, number 3 is Lee Lidgard. The hooker is Kevin Ashby. Here's Ben Lloyd, the first 5'8", and the other prop is Peter Curley. Oh boy, they got problems in the front row. The referee has ruled that as dangerous. And look at that, eyeballing each other, the two hookers. I love you too, says Sean Fitzpatrick to Kevin Ashby. Well, they have a bond there, hookers. Ashby, this is Lidgard on the near side, but remember, Counties have lost 3 props before this game, so they're effectively playing their props 4 and 5 against Auckland. Out to Stanley, seems to have recovered from his problem. Hewitt hard for the corner, defence is good. In goes Carter, scrapping it back. There's going to be some hard rucking on one of the Counties players who put his body on the line, and Auckland have won the right to the put in, and this will be all on for a scrum shove, I'd say here. Michael Jones was there, so was Carter, and they look a very fast and devastating loose forward pair.
Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Right up!
McDowell, Fitzpatrick, Polo Brown against Lidgard, Ashby and Curley. 70 minutes gone, no score, but the big scrum shove could be on here. Remember Zinzan Brook with this remarkable record of scoring tries. Once the weight's on a lot of them this way, it's inevitable, isn't it? Zinzan Brook is playing his 75th game for Auckland. That's his 74th try. And how many times have we seen this? It's like turning the pages of a familiar book, one you've enjoyed before, and around the side goes Zinzan Brook, and he scores it. Well, I suppose you enjoy it if you're an Aucklander, but it's one of rugby's unprettiest methods of scoring, but it's still worth 4 points. It's as good as the sweeping movement that comes from 100 metres out. Grant Fox's kick is bent around beautifully. Zinzan Brook's try converted by Grant Fox, and it's Auckland 6, Counties 0. There's Gary Wetton with his twin brother, neither of them playing now as they sit in the stands and watch. So Auckland standby captain Grant Fox. Remember, he also captained New Zealand on the Tour of Argentina at a midweek game. Auckland having quite a tough workout here as Hewitt gets a clearance kick in. Tamburarua, number 14. Played on the left wing last year. They've switched him to the right, and they like what's happened to him as football's exploded this season.
Take a look. Stop first.
So there is Waisia Tamburarua, the right wing from Counties. He's out of the Patamahoe Club in the south of Auckland. Ashby throws. So that's against Steve Axton's. Fox takes it quickly, takes it to himself. I think they want to put a bit of grunt on Counties to see if they like it the hard way. And the Brook brothers and Jones and Fitzpatrick clearing it out past to Carter in midfield. That was good tactics by Auckland to break the game open, to get away from the situation they'd been in down on their own 22. Penalty in midfield now. Offside play, and this is a kicking chance for sure for Fox, although they may try to keep the Enterprise running as they did with the previous shot. No, Fox is going to call, because he's the captain now, for a shot at goal. This is the penalty where Fox took it and gave it to Zinzan Brook. Michael Jones was in attendance, and they broke the game open here. It was getting a bit sticky down there on the 22. Jones gave it to Robin Brook, and a good run carried on. Fitzpatrick there as well. But one of the Counties players comes in from an offside position when the stop came on Mark Carter, and that's where the referee made the penalty. He was playing advantage right through there, and it looks like, yeah, it was maybe number 7, Fleming, who was offside, called by referee Colin Hawke. It's midfield. Time gone, 31 minutes first half. Fox 1 out of 1 so far. And that's 9-0 to Auckland. First penalty day today for the kicking machine, and Auckland out to a 9-point gap. Ben Lloyd kicks out. 8 minutes to half time. Fox back in the game again. Fox had a problem in the week with a slight groin strain, and there was some doubt about whether he'd actually play in this game, but he seemed to come right with a good solid run 2 days before the game, and is in the team, and now of course he found himself as captain with Gary Wetnoff. Ronnie Clark waiting still for a run on the left wing side, hasn't gone his way so far. And that's what it's all about, the 43rd defence of this record reign by Auckland, 1985 to 91. They've had the field. Hewitt away to Fox, who was there the day they won it. Good break. It's gone to ground. Kicked away by Fleming. Fox has got to get back and tidy up. That's McCarhill doing that. Stanley away to Kerwin. That was good play by McCarhill. Stanley, and now big JK doesn't kick it so hard, and it runs across the touchline. A good save by 12, 13 and 14 in the blue and whites. 9 points to 0. 33 minutes gone, first half. Bernie McCarhill, veteran for Auckland. This is his 78th game as the ball spins down to the back where the guy they call a rigger, that's Cooksley, makes the run. Nualitia away to Lloyd. Murray is left out. This is Adams. Adams has got support from Carl Murray, who's a good runner. There is support with him. He makes the turn. Michael Jones is doing the scragging. And a good call there by referee Hawke, because the momentum was definitely running with the Reds. And they're really trying in the backs to keep it going, but Michael Jones scragged Carl Murray there and stopped it. Michael Jones, you see him on the blind side for this move. I haven't been actually looking at that. I presume they're playing left and right. They might be playing open and blind. Nualitia skips away from Jones, but not from Carter. This is Brain. Here is Adams. This is Hassan. They're always taken late. The referee doesn't quite agree, or does he? The referee says take the line out. He doesn't agree that that was a late tackle on Carlos Hassan, the fullback. So Fitzpatrick to throw on the 22. Here is Michael Church. His third game only for Counties. We have a look at number 6 for Counties, John Flanagan. This is his first game in first-class rugby. Well picked up by Lloyd. Shoveled on to Carl Murray, number 12. Murray's found some space. Good run. Can he get it over? 22-metre line there. It's coming for Nualitia. Away to Brain. And every time Brain's made a break, he's run into Zinzan Brook, his opposite number. And good play by Counties. They started the half well. They're finishing well. Andy Dorton, the coach there in the stand. That's big Tom Parsons in front of him. One of the props who couldn't play today. Next to him you see the familiar figure of Hiwi Tauroa, the former Counties coach, who's back assisting Dalton this year. The two are great friends. Hiwi Tauroa, the former race relations conciliator, remember? Andy Dalton just obscured there, the former All Black captain. Nualitia, away to Lloyd. Lloyd straight to Adams. Oh, Tambaru was looking for the burst through, but they lost it forward. And it's getting interesting out wide here as Hassan and Kerwin were having a look at sprint into the corner. but full marks to Counties. They're not rattling Auckland at this stage. Auckland are holding the lead when they're holding firm, but Counties are giving it a good go late in the first half. And here is Carlos Hassan. You'll see him in the New Zealand Colts if you're down in North Otago next week. He's been called into that squad for one game, while the Manawatu players are up here playing a Ranfurly Shield match. Right. Oh, nicely pulled in by Ronnie Clark. But they've got the defence across. And Hassan's tackle is called high by referee Hawk Fitzpatrick. That's the one that bothers Counties when they take the penalties quickly near halfway. Hewitt away to Fox. Stanley, McCarhill, Kerwin, and Michael Church has a big moment, number 11. He sends Kerwin back. Stanley breaks out of a tackle. Caught by Flanagan, number 6, having his first game. In goes Counties. The full marks to Counties. They're giving it a go against the big guys, the big guns. They're behind on the scoreboard, and one suspects that's the way it may stay. 2 Counties players are down, so it's 15 against 13 as the tap is taken. McCarhill, Ronnie Clark, Tamburua is onto him, and Adams takes it across. Waisia Tamburua, the right winger, number 14. I think Auckland decided to break away from this fairly lively Counties team. They might have to open the game up on the sticky ground. There's Errol Brain, Counties captain today, New Zealand Maori representative. There's Steve Axton's towards the front. In front of him is Lee Lidgard, and this is John Flanagan. Makes the jump, jumping off the shoulder. Back go the Auckland players. Michael Jones is penalised there. So this is 21-year-old Ben Lloyd, who's been a fullback. In fact, they've tried him in both positions, made a good thump down towards the goal line. Fox has got it covered. Fox, the stand-in Auckland captain. It'll be a restart from the 22. Auckland 9, Counties 0, 2 minutes to go till half-time. So here's Errol Brain in the foreground. Number 9, Nualitia. Restarts at the 22, late in the half. Coxie made a good catch. You can recognise him from his crew cut. Nualitia away to Lloyd. Big pass out to the centre. Pass it to Adams. The danger man's got the ball. Good run by Adams. He tried to get, was that an early tackle? It's carried on anyway by Fleming. Carried on this time by Adams again. Counties have had some good moments. Nualitia, their lively halfback. Now have they got a halfback with Nualitia in there? Lidgard, away to Lloyd. Lloyd rolls it into Fleming. Here's Hassan. He's a dangerous runner, but he didn't really have time to get momentum up on the sticky ground. Now, have Auckland got it here? I think they have, or referee Hawk has the final say. He's given the put in to Counties late in the half. There's the score on the big board. It's been repositioned up that end this season as Counties come into their best scoring chance of the half. They're giving it a go here. A bit of chat between their backs who look as though they might cook up a move, maybe with Hassan up from fullback. They won't want to concede a penalty. Brain is going left. He's got into the new setup. Nualitia out left to Lloyd. That's Murray. Picked up by Church. Nualitia, that's the corner flag. Right on half time. Brave stuff by Counties, down by 9-0. But some accidental offside there late in the half has given Hawkman a chance to relieve the pressure. The crowd are booing, but that's one that was only really seen in there by the referee in the close quarter stuff. Hewitt.
What's your side, man? Steady, we'll give up.
So Hewitt makes the kick. Nualiti is on him. There's only seconds remaining in the half. Counties have the put in. Can they cook a line-out victory here, a line-out win here? Line-outs are actually favouring Counties by 7-6. Andy Dalton made a decision to include for Kevin Ashby's throwing Axton and Cooksley. And they've thrown it down the back with Zinzan. Look, was it Jones who made the pump? Stanley off his left boot. Humps it away to touch, and that's half-time. Auckland kept Counties out in the first half. Some good play by the challengers. They kept Auckland to 1 try, 1 conversion, and 1 penalty in the half. And at the change round, Auckland lead by 9 points to 0 over Counties.
Good afternoon. On tonight's One Network News, the South Island, the day after the Alliance meatwork closures. There's still shock and despair, but most are vowing to battle on. Telecom is cutting back its coastal radio service, and that concerns many people whose lives often depend on it. A Canadian court ruling on tobacco advertising may have an effect on New Zealand, and the day's big rugby matches. We'll have the scores and the highlights at 6. Join me then.
You've only got a couple of hours to get your lotto tickets for tonight's live lotto draw on Channel 2 at 8 p.m. But you better be quick. How can I help?
Petrol. How about a change for good? Yeah. I'd like a change for good.
The perfect driver's car would have seats specially tuned to match the suspension and specially designed for New Zealand conditions. The new Nissan Bluebirds, for the driver in you.
1968. Timaru's Clark McConaughey defends the world billiards crown he's held for 17 years. He's 73, has Parkinson's disease, and loses narrowly to England's Rex Williams. The crowd applauds a remarkable career, which started in 1914 when McConaughey won the New Zealand professional title. He never lost it, was still playing shots like this at 80. NZ, another champion.
Any Cadbury chocolate bar could win you some tennis balls, or a basketball, a rugby ball, or a softball, a soccer ball, or some golf balls. There are thousands of balls to be won in the Cadbury Superbars ball game. Look for an entry form.
Another great 29-cent weekend is on. Direct dial anywhere in New Zealand from midnight Friday to midnight Sunday, and you'll never pay more than 29 cents a minute.
Scored lately, Buck? No, but I'm trying to with Wins, and so can you. Buy any Wins product and go into the draw to win great prizes like these.
Win a rugby trip of a lifetime for 2 to the final games of the World Cup. Weekly prizes of sharp camcorders, videos and sharp portable audio systems, and other fantastic weekly draws. Plus thousands of dollars of proven Wins products. Entry forms are on all Wins packs.
Buy Wins to be in to win with Wins. Thank you, Wayne.
The second half at Eden Park in Auckland begins with Ben Lloyd's kick, and Counties will feel a lot happier than they were when they played here for the Shield in 1989 and were down by 36-3 at half-time, and they lost the game by 84-3. They've had a good second half. The referee's playing a good first half so far. The referee's playing advantage here from a knock-on to the kickoff. Errol Brain, and good run early on by Counties. They're showing lots of initiative in this game without looking as though they're threatening at the moment. Nualitia gets it away to Lloyd. The idea is to switch it out. Here's Hassan. Out to Adams, knock on. Runners to Auckland here. Michael Jones. Terry right up from fullback. And good tackle on him by Carlos Hassan. And there's another knock on. So it's a scrum to Auckland. It was a knock on first by Counties. Referee played 2 advantages there from the kickoff. So it's Peter Curley on the near side. Here is Jason Hewitt away to Fox. Going for the wipers. The big deep kick. Michael Church coming across, and so is Hassan. Auckland's captain with the departure of Gary Wetton with a rib problem. Grant Fox. So there's Robin Brooke, 26th game for Auckland today. Finance are being shared. So it's a rolling ball. Counties are doing good work in here. So they've kept it up. You can see the ball in there with only red hands around it. Well, Auckland are getting a wee bit of their own medicine here. They've allowed Counties to get into this game much more than I think the reputation would have suggested beforehand. And this is a long, long, long maul. Referee Hawke had the whistle up to his mouth for a moment. The Lidgard is the one with the ball at the moment. New early tier. Right coming forward. Brave catch. Loose ball though. Zinzan Brooks gone down. Passed it there, but there's no tackle on it, so it was allowed. Out to Murray. Lovely run by Murray. 5 metres out. And Carl Murray, the second 5'8", has put Counties under their best attacking position so far. Good strong burst. Kevin Ashby is coming forward to make the throw. Counties are really, you have to say, they're in this game because Auckland have been fumbling and bumbling so much in the early moments of the second half and the late moments of the first half that you've got to give Counties a rough show at this point in the game. However, having said that, Counties haven't scored yet. Ashby throws deep to the back. Counties have got the ball. Did Axtons knock it on? Yes, he did. Initial reaction was that it might have come off his shins. Steve Axtons. Hey, he's in the team because he's a hard grafting forward. No nonsense. A bit of a sort of a donkey in the second row there. Gives his guts for the cause, but you don't often see him shine. He's kept Jim Coe out of the Counties lineup today. Hewitt away to McCarhills for his kick. McCarhill's gone for a lot of distance here, and he's won the raffle. The ball got across the touchline up near halfway. Excellent kick by McCarhill. He's using his boot a bit more these days than we've seen from him in the past. Bernie McCarhill, number 12.
Stride.
Lidgard behind him. Here's the second 5'8", Carl Murray. But Auckland have the ball. Away to Fox. McCarhill's left out. Nice move this time with McCarhill and right in. Clark has dropped it. Craig Adams. Murray again, made the turn. Nualitia. Church. Oh, a lovely run by Michael Church. Okay, Michael Church, the Karaka Sparky, is having a great game. His defence has been superb on John Kerwin. Now it's a hard ground to turn on and run, but look how he goes in and out, straightens Kerwin up and then goes around the big fella. And the Kerwin comes after him, makes the tackle. A lot of the Counties people thought it was late, but it wasn't. And what a game he's having, Michael Church. Fitzpatrick throws. Auckland not in trouble as yet in the game. I think they're daydreaming at the moment. They're just not quite on the boil. Fox trying to get things sparking. McCarhill, the deep kick again. And McCarhill again is going to drive them back. Well, one of the reporters on the tour of Argentina said he was the player of the tour, but he never got a test match. Cahill desperately wants to head off to the World Cup, and on this sort of form he'll get there too. To New Alitia, Western Samoan representative. Somebody got pushed out near the front. Referee Hawke not very interested. On the county's side. A slippery ball. New Alitia, away to Lloyd. Lloyd to Murray. Long ball, Hassan's up. The Cahill, the gun has been played. Adams is back, down and up, Craig Adams, or was it Murray again? Yes, Carl Murray, I think. Here it is for Hewitt, to Fox, to Stanley. The pass went in front of Clark, Tamburua. And Clark did not release. Referee Hawke has penalised him. New Alitia, he's a little sparky too. They didn't go back 10 metres. Now it's these kind of exchanges there where anything could happen, and if counties can keep their heads, maybe a break will go their way and they'll get some points. To New Alitia, Andrew Fleming going back. Brain, New Alitia, caught by his opposite number. Here's two good halfbacks there. Number 3, Lee Lidgard is penalised. And the referee, I think, made a gesture that it was a bit of a punching gesture. And this is a chance for Fox after 15 minutes in the second half. There's Alex Wiley doing his Mount Rushmore impersonation as Grant Fox lines up for his third shot at goal today, 2 out of 2. Now for Grant Fox. Alex Wiley is hugely impressed. 12-0 Auckland lead. So there's Lidgard at the front, who conceded that penalty that went over. Then Axton's. Cooksley is leaning out to the right, about halfway down. And that's against the county's captain Errol Brain, jumping off the shoulder of his opposite number, Michael Jones. They've had a good go as Fox punches it up the touchline, and it's not out. Here's Church. Well done in Karaka. They've had a lively young team this year, and he's part of the back line there at that lovely ground they've got in Clubhouse in the south of Auckland. And there's that good battle between Brain and Jones. Jones playing in the number 6 shirt today against Errol Brain. Oh, sorry, that's John Flanagan there against him. Jones away. Here's Keenan. Here's Fleming. Good run by Andrew Fleming. New Alitia. This is Brain. Up to halfway. New Alitia. Away to Lloyd. Lloyd to Adams. Stanley gets across. Here's Ben Lloyd again. Oh, good stop on him by Clark. New Alitia counties for the third time. Lloyd. That's the fullback, I think it was at Tamburua. Kicked away by Fox. Penalty to counties back at halfway. Zinzabrook is penalised. He played the ball on the ground, so the momentum will stay with counties. After they turned over 3 or 4 passes to New Alitia there, he has it again. So Murray, Carl Murray, a long ball out to Errol Brain. Here's Murray again, inside to Big Cooksley, and the big giant makes a good run. Counties a very willing side on the park today. New early tier. Lloyd. Fullback is up. That's Church. Fleming. Referee says play on. Well done, Fleming. He's had a great game. New early tier to Murray. To Church. And the ball all of a sudden is thrown out. I'm not sure what that was for. And the penalty has gone to Counties. Let's have a look and see what that one was for. Good play by Fleming. He's been in this game a lot. And there's another run by Murray. Then Church. The penalty was for throwing the ball out in the full. There's the goal line looming ahead. So there's Murray getting up. He's had a very good game at second fullback. Down in Counties, they can't understand why he hasn't been called on by selectors for a higher level of rugby. Carl Murray. And you'll see when this movement ends here, one of the Auckland players threw it out. Zinzan Brook threw it over the touchline. You can't do that. You can't do it deliberately, I should say. Auckland in defence, leading by 12-0. Just one try to nil. Taken away by Nua Litia. But the referee wants the ball in again. The ball was out of the scrum, so it's a dropout and quickly taken, but Auckland have made another error. And the cheering is for Counties' effort at the moment as Fox has drop-kicked the ball out on the full. So everybody in the Auckland backs has been guilty of a mistake today, and that's not like them at all. So Carlos Hassan back at fullback. Will he come in and make one of his charges? It's midfield. They need a quick heel. The thing is, Auckland have so much weight, so much power in there. So New Alitia. Hamburarua. Fleming. 5 metres left. Turned over again. New Alitia. Out to Lloyd. Coxley gets down and Flanagan. New Alitia. And that's called a knock-on by New Alitia. He's disappointed with that call. It could be that Fitzpatrick's legs were getting involved there, but the referee's quite sure, and it happened right in front of him, that it was a knock-on. Fox has skied this one under pressure and has found the line. Quick throw-in taken by Counties. They're trying anything. Midfield. Clark. Brook. Knock on again by Wright. And the referee is onto it. And a knock on. So Auckland continue to make a few slips and errors. That's not at all like them, but they are ahead comfortably by 12-0. 23 minutes gone, second half. Waisia Tamburarua on the right wing, wondering if he can get into the game. Flanagan, who's had a good game in his debut for Counties. What a thrill to come on and play in such a big game as this in his first-class debut. Flanagan, you see, is the flanker on this side. Lots of telegrams from his army mates. He's a captain in the army, the same club that gave Counties rugby players like Buck Milner and Mac McCallion. Robert Kurangi came out of the army before he sort of made his name with the Ardmore Club. So John Flanagan starting today, a product of Canterbury before he came to the army in Papakura, as Fox gets the ball away. Having a look down the back of the Counties lineup, you see further down, further away from Flanagan and Brain, You see with the band, the mouth guard there, that's Andrew Fleming. Now, he's the son of Dame Melvina Major. And she'll be singing if he can get a try or Counties can pull off any more of an upset today, because this is an upset the way they're playing today. Fleming gets it out for Lloyd. Wright is outside the 22 and he knows it. A long kick by Terry Wright. Well, Michael Church is an excellent tackler, a very good runner. He only came into the game for Lino Fo'ai. Well, what a good call it was by Coach Dalton, because he's had an outstanding game today, Michael Church, the 21-year-old. So, some fairly tired fellows here with still 15 minutes to play. That could work in Auckland's favour. Big Brook gets high, that's Robin Brook. They've had some shocking weather throughout the week. It's been pretty good weather today, but the mud is sticky. The numbers are hard to read. Away goes Auckland. So it's an Auckland rolling maul. Carter back, was it? Fox. Stanley. Ronnie Clark. Beautiful run by Clark. And Terry Wright is in. No mistaking the brilliance of that try. Slick work by the backs before it got to Ronnie Clark. And then Terry Wright ran it in. Fox, lovely pass to Stanley, who put Clark into the gap. And look at Clark turn on the gas. And Ronnie Clark, he straightened the fullback up. Tambururu it was, in fact. And then he put Terry Wright over. A lovely try. Let's look at it again and savour it again. The best move of the match by far. Stanley, the old master. Look at the way the young man went onto the pass. He must have loved getting a ball like that. He straightened up Tambururu and Terry Wright waltzed in. So, Terry Wright, easily the game's best moment with a lovely try, his 99th try for Auckland. And remember, in Ranfurly Shield Rugby, he's now out to 40, and that's the all-time New Zealand record. Number 15 today, back at fullback, and he always looks good there. Auckland's stand-in captain Grant Fox with the conversion attempt. That's 4 out of 4 for Fox. He's had some great kicking records and runs of success, and today 4 out of 4 with a sticky ball is good. It's 18-0. It is raining very heavily at the moment. You can see it pelting down as Lloyd kicks out. Some new shorts for Robin Brook. That's a relief for the commentator as well. Now Auckland put in the ball to get the setup for the previous try. That's Critchley with the ball, and now Counties want to have their turn at the rolling ball. Hosing down with rain as play goes on. 18-0. Now it's coming for New Olitia. Penalty against Auckland for some offside play there. Penalties in the game are favouring, well, they're 8 each at the moment. Away to Lloyd. Counties are well down on the board, but they're continuing to give it a go. That's Flanagan there with Jones. It's very dark and gloomy and raining at the moment, and that'll quickly turn the ground into a slush. Craig Adams with Ronnie Clark on him. Nice play by New Olitia. Hewitt kicks it clear. Fleming. Slippery ball. Keep it on the ground just like the old days, the old timers will be saying. Nothing wrong with a good foot rush with a ball like this, but some clunker had to go and put his hands on it. But however, there's a penalty anyway. And for the hands on the ball, the penalty is awarded. We've just about lost the players down there, and this will make it hard for Fox to keep his record of successes. So Errol Brain with the touch judge Trevor Mitchell, waiting to see if Fox can continue this record of no misses with the heavy ball. It's away. Oh, it's over. 21-0. Fox continues to deliver. Well, referee Colin Hawke has done another good job today. He's got a nice manner. You can see that he likes being in the game, likes the players. He can be stern. He sent off a player at Twickenham in a test last season. Federico Mendes, the Argentine prop forward, away to Fox. No, Cahill still shoveling out beautiful passes with the slippery ball. That was McCahill. Brook. Oh, a good hit on him by Brain, I think it was. Some more big hits. No, Stanley is away. Now Kerwin. Hassan on Kerwin. Fitzpatrick. Caught by the Ashby is opposite number. The pressure continues. And the Ronnie Clark scores in the other corner. Second try today for Ronnie Clark. Technically you'd say he's not supposed to be on that side. This is where it was going towards his side here. But he wants to get in the game, and you'll see him come into the picture and score down the right wing side. Stanley made a good run here, and Kerwin was actually in the clear here, but they got across and made a stop on him. Hassan made the tackle into Fitzpatrick. He was caught by his opposite number, so the two hookers met there, right out wide. Next was Mark Carter, then Ronnie Clark, and he scampered for the corner and beat Lloyd's tackle. Second try today for Ronnie Clark. Lovely run by Stanley. See how cool and calm he was on the pass. Fitzpatrick stopped, caught by Ashby. Carried on now, and then Clark diving in at the corner. Well, my mistake there was, of course, Clark that made the break for the first try, which was scored by Terry Wright. But that is Clark's 8th try in 91. Fox's record run with kicks is put on the spot again, but he delivers. Clark's try is converted, and it's 27-0 to Auckland. Hewitt finds Fox. Fox behind the 22, safe to touch. Referee wants one more line out.
Let's go.
No, that is it. That is it. Referee Colin Hawke goes for full time. And there's Auckland's stand-in captain who had such an outstanding day with the boots. 6 out of 6. That contributed. But counties contributed too. To a fine game of rugby in the conditions. Auckland won by 27-0. Their 43rd defence of the Shield. But credit will go to their challengers from the south, their near neighbours, who gave a good account of themselves, were never really in the action. But Auckland safely through, a few fumbles along the way, but safely through to the next defence in 4 days' time against Manawatu. Auckland 27, Counties 0.
Yes, and the old veteran Joe Stanley showing his class there as he set up that little break that Ronnie Clark made, which led to the try for Terry Wright. So it needed some moments of individual brilliance to get that gap out to 27-0, but as Keith Quinn said there, real credit to Counties today. After the match, we spoke to the captains and the coaches, and first it's Morris Trapp.
Far too many errors really from Auckland, but it was good that we could still get 27 points, I suppose, in those conditions. They're not our ideal conditions, and nor really was the preparation for this game. Tuesday's training was an absolute bath of rain and mud, and it really only gave us that one run to get together, and it looked a bit like that today.
Yeah, proud of the effort they put in. They never gave up. I think the score might have flattered Auckland a little, but it's the difference. They took a lot of chances that they got, and we had perhaps a couple to keep us in the game. Penalty just early on in the first half. Might have been nice to have that to keep the guys going, but it wasn't the case.
It started very well, and I may say finished very strongly. The boys are pretty fit and keen.
They are. They had the commitment there today, and I think they can be proud of their effort.
Well, Errol Brain, captain of Counties today. What was your view of the Counties challenge this afternoon?
Oh no, we made the most of our opportunity and went out there and wanted to play our own style of football, and we weren't worried about what they were going to do because everyone knows that they're good at set phases and that, so we tried to go out there and break it up and move the ball around and break them up in that, which we did at times. So yeah, it was a pleasing effort.
We've certainly got some lively young players there. It's a bit of an advantage in many ways that they're not so well known to these guys.
Oh, I suppose it always works in your way, but I'd still prefer to have 15 guys that everyone in the country knows to be aware of. But no, the guys that certainly went out there that aren't that well known in First Division football made the most of the opportunities.
I was pretty happy really, given the conditions. It was very slippery underfoot. You know, we were positive, we tried to move the ball, we made some mistakes doing it. But at least, you know, we were trying to move the ball. And credit to Counties too, because they tried the same thing. And I think, given the conditions, it wasn't a bad game of footy.
I thought it was a good game as well, and full marks to them. They did have a go, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And I mean, anyone who comes up to challenge for the Shield has got to go out to attack, because I believe at the end of the day, you don't win football going out trying to stop what your opposition team is doing, i.e. a challenger coming to Auckland trying to stop what Auckland do. They're better to have a go, and Counties did that, and full credit to them.
Absolutely, Foxy, and boy, was he in good form with that boot again, 6 out of 6. Well, also up for decision today was the UBIC's Most Valuable Player Award, and Keith Quinn's pick for the MVP this week is Bernie McCahill, and Quinny is with him now.
Well, Bernie McCahill, you seem to have a good day out there today. What were the conditions like as far as you're concerned?
Pretty atrocious, if you ask me. Found it quite difficult actually coming back from Argentina on the hard grounds where you could run on top of it. To come into there where it was quite boggy, and in fact all of us found it pretty hard going to try and get our feet out of the ground and get our leg speed, and I guess that's why we looked a little bit sluggish out there.
Now, one of the reporters came in from Argentina and declared you as the man of the tour. Are you actually pretty happy with your form?
That's probably a guy I bought a few beers with over there.
Something like that.
Something like that, I would imagine.
It's typical modesty, but I see also in the program today, you say your job as the second five is to shift the ball on, but today you had some very telling kicks across field.
Yeah, just the way the game went, they were targeting Fox a little bit, and I could see that I had a lot more time, so we just had a word about it, and we just got Jason Hewitt to pass straight to me, and it gave me plenty of time to just put a wipers kick in and gain a bit of territory.
Well, Bernie, all in all, a marvellous performance by today in the conditions, and your team coming through, and you've won the UBIC's MVP for today on that performance this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Quinny.
Highlights of the 1991 Shell Ranfurly Shield Series were presented by One World of Sport and Shell.
All right, Earl Curtin has been in the studio watching that game come in from Eden Park this afternoon. Earl, it was, 84-3 2 years ago. Hell of an improvement. Andy Dalton's got the spirit back in the counties team now.
Well, I thought it was a good game for the conditions, considering how wet it was. Counties really played well. If you're going to challenge for the Shield, you've got to challenge, and that means you've got to attack them. Will it be the weather be wet, fine, windy, or whatever? And Counties did it. Hassan and Murray and Lloyd and this young guy Church on one wing, and again, I thought played extremely well.
And what about Bernie McCahill? We've given him the UBIC's MVP award for the day. He played a very, very tidy game at second 5/8. Is he a test player, do you think, or not?
I don't know about being a test player. He'd get very close to it. I think he's a very competent player. He's a fine player all round. He's probably suffered through playing in too many positions in the past that it would be hard to know where you could actually slot him in a test side. But I fancy him at first 5/8. But thank goodness Hewitt was firing the ball straight to him. I think it's a great place to kick from, second 5/8 or even centre, particularly in wet conditions. And it takes the pressure off Fox. I don't know why the All Blacks don't miss Fox out more often.
All right, Earl Curtin, thank you. If you'd like a copy on VHS of that match today, the address to write to is TVNZ Enterprises, Private Bag, Wellesley Street in Auckland. The cost is $39.95 and a couple of bucks for handling. In a moment, we'll have a summary for you of the day's major results, including a report from the second division opener in Invercargill.